Welcome back for this week's GRE ROC segment. We are talking about the U of R's Laboratory for Laser Energetics and its expansion. Just had a big event a couple days ago talking about what's happening. Dr. Christopher Deeney is the director of the lab and joins us now. Congratulations on this news. I know you got this ribbon cutting ceremony we just had, the expansion. So what exactly is going on here?
So LLE has been lucky enough to receive large increases in our sponsor funding from various federal entities, including the National Nuclear Security Administration, the Department of Energy, DOD, and National Science Foundation. With that expansion comes the need for more people, and more people needs more space. We've already been fairly tightly packed in our building, and so this was much needed for new lab space and new office space.
Your focus on what you do day in, day out is on fusion. How do you explain to the everyday viewer what is happening in this lab?
So basically, at the highest level, we operate the two largest lasers in any university anywhere in the world. Up until 2009, they were actually the largest lasers in the world, until the National Ignition Facility was built, which just recently demonstrated ignition, which is scientific break-even in fusion, a major goal for the country. With those big lasers, we support hundreds of users doing experiments, a lot ourselves, about half of the shots. The other half of the experiments go to outside users from other academic institutions. The main thing we study is fusion, which is a grand challenge. You basically take two isotopes and two materials, you try to drive them together at very high pressure being billions of atmospheres. When they stick together, they release more energy than was required to put them in. And so that's very important for national and energy security.
On that, having it here, the hub in Greater Rochester, I'm sure you know there are opportunities for groups to move, go someplace else. So what is it about being here for a couple of decades now?
So actually Rochester is frequently called the Flower City. I always think of it as the Photon City. You'll go back to Kodak Eastman, optics was at the center of what Rochester was doing. In 1929, the University of Rochester had the foresight to create the world's first, America's first Institute of Optics. Jump 50 years, then a professor at U of R said, this new technology, lasers, could be important. We need to form the laboratory for laser energetics. So that was 1970. And in 1976, we moved into our first building, and we've continued to expand. And so this 66,000 square foot expansion we just opened is the next step before we build the world's most powerful laser, we hope, for National Science Foundation.
We know what you're doing at the lab and what it does for the school and the research there. What's the ripple effect here to other companies?
Yeah, great question. So basically we have 450 employees, but we assess that our funding creates 100 high-paying science and technology and engineering jobs in the region. We've collaborated with more than 50 different companies in the local region because of that exceptional ecosystem in lasers and optics. That's been recognized in two ways. One, the National Science Foundation has funded us a regional innovation engine proposal to figure, could we create a new, more advanced ecosystem of lasers and optics in Rochester? Secondly, we're doing the design of the world's most powerful laser just now, which is going to push technology, gratings, optics, crystals, to enable us to make the world's two most powerful lasers. Lots of opportunities to work with companies where we transfer technology to them, or if they have an innovative idea, they engage with us to sort of implement it on some world-class facilities.
It's just incredible to see, like a spider web of everything, all the tentacles of how it impacts everyone. Dr. Deeney, thank you for coming here. You want to learn more about the expansion in the works at LLE with U of R. You can find that with this interview today under the ROC section of RochesterFirst.com.